Hi, today we are going to draw this feather. It's a contour feather used for flight. I'm not going to use a vertical or horizontal line, and I'm using my sketchbook today, but if you don't have that, use any kind of paper that you have at home available, and any found pens, pencils will be able to use for creating the value. So the inside area is the vein and the quill. So I'm gonna start with that. It's kind of bowing out to the right. I'm not gonna use a vertical and horizontal line. Don't need a ruler or anything for that today. And it's getting gradually thinner at the top. These parts that are the line textures happening, it's really important that we layer the line texture but also lift and leave white areas. I'm just gonna make some outline shapes so I know where to aim when I start the line texture. This part's kind of curvy and there's a little spikiness happening. And as it's getting to the bottom, thinning out. Over on the left, it's a little bit more divided into some sections. So I'm starting back at the top. So I see this other area kind of overlapping. I want to make sure I leave a little area for a highlight. This bottom chunk is a lot wider than the others. And then there's these little frayed pieces happening too. Pretty good for the first sketch. So the Micron pen that we would be using in class 05, this works great. So to make this look like a 3D, you definitely want to lift your pen so that we have these highlights at the edge. Kind of letting it create a shininess, looking like it's curving around. So over here as I'm layering, I know that area gets a lot darker, but I want to make sure that I leave that white spot for the highlight where there's an overlap. As I'm making these lines, I can't really change the angle, so I have to be aware of what I've done before I go in and make the angle change accidentally. So this area would be pretty dark, but leave a little bit of shininess right next to the quill. So I'll kind of skip that area to show you down here where the frayed pieces are happening. I'm kind of going back and forth with my lines. For the quill, I want to make that also look like it's rounded. I can see that there's more of a shadow here on the right side, and I want to use some stippling to make this a nice detail. I'm not really going to outline anything. I have time to make this nice and precise. Don't just fill it in all dark. We definitely need a little bit of a highlight going all the way up. Now to show you a little bit of how I might start the top edge, going top to bottom and then leaving a little bit of highlight and then bottom out. So they look like they're all connecting, but there's still dark to light happening. That nice gradation. If you guys don't have any nice pens to use, you might want to try this with pencil. These are some Crayolas that we use in class. I'm going to show you guys how to blend a few different colors. So it's a little bit darker towards where the middle quill is. So if I start with a darker color, lift, lift, I can blend in and make it a gradation. And I know that since these are close to each other, orange and red, on the color wheel that they will play nicely together. And I can make some highlights happen with this yellow. Make sure if I'm using pencil, I want to make these pencil lines disappear. And I can get rid of them everywhere that I used ink now as well. As I'm working on my examples for you guys, I usually like to kind of outline things with the texture I'm using. Like stippling here, I would outline this and then go in and create more gradation by clustering my dots on the dark side and letting them kind of scatter over to the light area. Another thing you might want to choose to use is a gel pen. I think that would work really well too. You just want to be aware of erasing your pencil lines later on when they're totally dry. And as I'm starting at the quill, it's really important that I start at that same point. And I lift. If I'm making all my lines just go the same direction, really uniform, then it won't have that kind of fluffiness to it, and it will just look like a pattern. But we want this to look realistic, like a real feather. So I think that that's about everything I want to show you guys today. Good luck on your drawings. I know you will do a fabulous job. You guys have done so well so far with distance learning, and we're all very proud of you. So good luck. Thanks for watching.